Hey everybody, welcome to the Gentleman Scholars Club. In today's video, I want to introduce you, or perhaps reintroduce you, to a classic menswear pattern known as the Breton stripe. We'll be talking about its origins, its history, and how you can wear it in a contemporary way. So stay tuned. So as the name suggests, the Breton stripe originated in Brittany, or Bretagne, which is located in the northwest part of France. It's a very proud region culturally, well known for its buckwheat crepes, in my mind, a really tasty cuisine. Also has a long history of commerce, travel, and cultural transmission with Western Britain. And it's located sort of opposite Cornwall and the West Country of Britain. And even the names there speak to the transmission between the two areas, right? Brittany and Britain. And Brittany is sometimes called Little Britain because of that close relationship between the two areas. And while Britain is known for its major contributions to classic menswear, today we're going to be talking about the contribution of Little Britain to today's men's style. So in terms of when the Breton stripe came onto the scene for classic menswear aficionados, we have to go back to 1858 when it became part of the official naval uniform of France. It was done in a cotton shirt in this sort of blue and white pattern. And there were 21 stripes, 21 white stripes, each wider than the navy stripes, twice as wide as the navy stripes in between them. And the 21 stripes were meant to symbolize the 21 victories of Napoleon Bonaparte. Besides the symbolic value, the shirt had a practical applicability in that it was highly visible, and it remains highly visible today, right? When a sailor would fall overboard, they could easily be spotted and rescued by their fellow sailors. I guess it was not an uncommon thing for people to fall overboard. Today, the Breton stripe has gone beyond the original cotton shirting to be worn and sold in a variety of permutations. In the wintertime, you can find it in chunky knitwear, wool, cashmere, and even in turtleneck form. In the summer, you'll see it as short-sleeve polo shirts and t-shirts. And perhaps most traditionally, or most commonly, you'll see it as long-sleeve crew necks like this. This is from Spear & McKay. It's in cotton. It's kind of meant for a transitional season, spring into summer, long sleeve with a crew neck, and done in the traditional blue and white pattern. You'll see it also available in the opposite pattern, primarily cream with navy striping, but really in any number of color patterns or colorways, as the market will allow. You'll also find that the stripes sometimes end at the armpits like this one does, and that'll leave you with a swath of color, the solid base color up here toward the neckline. But you'll also find some that have stripes that go all the way up to the neckline, and you'll see others that have variation in the stripe width, starting with wider stripes and then kind of narrowing down in a gradient pattern to thinner stripes up toward your neckline. So various different evolutions of the Breton marinière are available for sure nowadays. How would you wear it? First of all, it's a very prominent pattern, as I said, originally for practical reasons, but now it will get you a lot of attention. You don't see this on the street every day, well, depending on where you live, but most likely you won't see it every day. And so you have to be prepared to get some attention, visual attention, by wearing it. It's definitely a casual garment, and stripes that are wide tend to be worn casually, whereas narrower stripes are more formal. Think about a dress shirt for the office. A pencil stripe or perhaps a Bengal stripe is appropriate for office wear, whereas if you go into the area of awning stripes or wider butcher stripes, you're treading into casual territory. So these are worn mostly in a casual way, as is testified by their availability as sweaters, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and polos, right? All casual garments. So wear them in that way, casually. If you find that the pattern is too bold for you, you might want to cover it up with a layer of outerwear. However, that sort of defeats the purpose. And I wouldn't wear the traditional width stripe with any sort of tailoring. Instead, you might wear a blouson or other type of casual jacket over the top. But again, I would just go bold and wear it as is, uncovered. When it comes to the more narrow versions, narrower stripe versions like the t-shirts or the polo shirts, you could probably pull those off with tailoring, as Yasuto Kamoshita does in this image. narrower stripes being more formal, more amenable to tailoring. You can do that as kind of a smart, casual look. On the other hand, because the stripes are narrower on the t-shirts and the polo shirts, you might not feel as self-conscious and as much the center of attention if you wear them in that way. So again, you could probably pull them off just without any sort of outerwear. Breton stripes are interesting because they're horizontal as well, right? If you think about most of your shirt striping or your tailoring stripes, they're vertical, right? These are horizontal, so that gives it a uniqueness, and also it has the side effect of making your chest look broader. So if you have a narrower chest and you want to create that illusion or that impression of width, the Breton stripe will help you achieve that. On the other hand, if you already have a barrel chest, if you're kind of broad in the upper body, you may not find the Breton stripe is the best choice for you, or you might elect to go with the narrower stripe versions that don't have that effect as strongly. Other impressions created by the Breton stripe, it does have a French connotation and a maritime connotation or connection. It's worn famously by Pablo Picasso, James Dean, roughly the same era, and then a little bit later by Marcel Marceau, the French mime. And so it does have a strong mid-20th century French vibe to it. And you might get someone who notices that mime connection and sort of make fun of you and do that. But screw them, right? Wear what you want to wear. And perhaps now in the 2020s, people don't even make that association. You might also find people associate it strongly with the Navy or with maritime clothing, kind of like Navy double-breasted blazer with gold buttons would, right? So it has connections with yachting, with boating. And if you don't mind that impression, then feel free to wear it anytime you want. Again, people might not make that association unless they know the history, but because of the blue and white pattern, you might have people who note that connection with the sea, which is also a good thing. To me, I would wear this primarily on sunny days. I would wear it in the summer because it has that association with the ocean, with the sea, with the Mediterranean in this blue and white pattern. Other patterns can be worn anytime, or other color combinations of the Breton stripe. But for the true marinière, for the true blue and white, I strongly associate that with the maritime world, and therefore with seasons when you would be boating and when you would be by the sea. So those are my impressions of the Breton stripe as a classic menswear pattern. If you found that interesting, please do like the video and follow us at Gentleman Scholars Club for more discussion of the history of menswear, of brands, and of style. Thanks for watching.